So yesterday we got the seeds ready. I have some peas here that were soaking, and you can see that they've soaked up all the water. In fact, I probably didn't put enough water in. So they've soaked up all the water, and the coriander seeds are soaking away. So what we said we were going to do was coriander, peas, broccoli, and red amaranth. So the first thing I'm going to do is get all the trays ready to put these seeds in. So we're using a tray in a tray method. So we put a tray with no holes, and on top of that we put a tray with holes, and we're going to put our medium in here, and our medium is compost mixed with cocoa coir, but some good compost is good enough to use with this. So this is the mix. It's compost, and I had some cocoa coir, which is coconut coir, and I think I mixed that in, and the compost had some perlite in it, which is these bits. But once you get a good quality, let's say a potting compost or a seeding compost, then that's great for microgreens. So I've just filled the tray up, and now I'm just kind of spreading it out and evening it around the place. And it's a bit above the top of the tray, but I'm gonna take a fist out. When I flatten it down with a weight, that'll put it down a bit more. So I flatten it down, and you can use any kind of flat, heavy surface. I use these glass blocks because I have a lot of them lying around the place. And you can see I've just made it nice and flat and even. And if you don't do this, you'll get clumping of seeds. So especially with smaller seeds. See where this kind of a lip is? Well, the seeds will gather around that area. And you want to avoid clumps of seeds, because that's where you get kind of mold and fungus and things like that. So now I'll just give this a spray with some water. So make sure the bed is nice and damp for the seeds to drop on, and they won't bounce as much when it's kind of damp. Okay. Now I'm not soaking it, There's not a whole pile of water coming out of that spray bottle, and I suppose you don't really want to soak it, but yeah. So I'm going to start with the peas. I'm just going to pour them in, everything, just the way they are. Now, just spread them out. So these are microgreen seeds, are just normal seeds. These are normal seeds, pea seeds, except you use a lot of them. Obviously you buy them in bulk, because sometimes you can be really overcharged for a small pack of normal seeds. So you buy them by the kg. Now I'll just try and spread it out as evenly as possible. Now this next step is something you've probably never seen before, and I haven't seen anyone else use it. I think I'm the inventor of this really cool trick. And this is using biodegradable saran wrap, or cling film as we call it here in Europe. And I'm going to cover the top of this with it, and I'll tell you why. I almost forgot to say before I do that, give your seeds another spray. Even though they're fairly wet because I poured in the rest of the thing. But make sure your seeds are nice and wet. Okay, now we're ready for the wrap. Okay, so I've covered these, and I do this there's a couple of reasons. When you start doing microgreens and you start to make a few trays at a time, and a lot of the time they start to take up a lot of space, so you start to stack them. So you stack trays on top of each other, boom, 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 boom. And when you take a tray off a tray, and you don't have this wrap here, the bottom of the tray you're taking up is going to be covered in seeds. And when you're kind of messing with more than a few trays, it starts to get really messy. Even one or two trays, and you'll find that you're getting seeds all over the place. So this saves a lot of mess. And also, some people check their microgreens to see if they're kind of drying out with just the top on, no saran wrap. So you have just the top on, and sometimes microgreens can dry out because of the air coming in around here and in various different places. But with this way, moisture, I should say, the moisture can't escape. So once you start the germination phase, it goes on for about 3 days. You don't have to worry about any drying out because it's not going to happen with the cling film. So it's a really cool, time-saving, safe way to do the microgreens. So now again, a tray in a tray, okay? So you have a tray without holes. That's going to be the reservoir. We're going to feed inside there, and it's not going to leak out and wreck the place. So then we put the tray in the hole. So we put the medium here, and then there's lots of drainage, and that is caught by the reservoir tray. So our microgreens can easily drain into the part underneath. So here you can see that's cocoa coir in the compost. It wasn't mixed properly, and I was using pure cocoa coir, but I found that the microgreens, they just weren't as lush. I'll show you, but they just weren't as, I wasn't getting as much kind of yield from them. So it was much smaller. Let's say instead of getting 500 grams with the cocoa coir, I was only getting like 3. And that's a lack of nutrients and various different things. So I'm after switching back really to compost, or even a mix of the two. So I'll just spread this out. Now, you get very quick at this. Once you do a few trays, you start to get really quick. It's hard to kind of do it when I have a camera in my hand. And even this compost isn't the best. Like, there's a lot of big lumps in it. Look, you could just pick any big lumps like that out. But it's not a big deal. I mean, if you have a few lumps, you'll be all right. You would never not grow microgreens because you had a few lumps in your compost. It's better to grow them. Okay, so now that's pretty flat, and now I just put on this guy. Now I'm going to have to put down the camera for a sec, and I'm just going to flatten everywhere. So now the bed is made. We've made the bed, give it a spray again. This is just normal water. And she's ready for seed. So what will I do next? I think I'll do the amaranth next. And as I was saying yesterday, the amaranth, you don't need to soak the seeds. So we put these seeds straight on. And I don't really weigh these, I just guess. I'll show you. So I just kind of go by my eye with amaranth. Got a clump back there. There's something just kind of relaxing about growing microgreens. It's not like growing veg out in the garden, which can be very kind of straining. It can be a lot of work. But this can be just, it's like more of an enjoying pastime that gives you so many benefits. I'm just going to go around the edge here now. There's just a bit of a knack to this, and you get it yourself after a while. Overseeding isn't good either, so you have to kind of find a good medium. Now look, this is not perfect. I can see a lot of clumping around there, a bit there, and you can try and just help that like that. Right, give it another spray. Now, wrap it with cling film. So that's wrapped now, and then there's a tray on top, and they start the germination process. So I'll put that over with the peas, and I'm going to continue with the other trays. and they'll take about 3 days to germinate, and then we'll do what's called a stretching phase. So I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm going to put this video in a category called Microgreens on our channel, and if it's just microgreens you want, then they'll be in that category. You can grow these at home. You don't need a whole pile of space. If you're big into nutrition and health, and just kind of you want to grow your own things at home, then microgreens are like a no-brainer. So stay tuned, there'll be a lot more on microgreens. So I'm making the last try of microgreens here today. So earlier on we did these 3, and I'm going to do this last one, which is coriander. And with coriander, I soak the seeds, but then I try and dry the seeds a bit. I don't know, does anyone else do this? Because it's very hard to spread wet seeds. You'll know when you go trying to do this. So I've kind of put them in more dry tissue and just let it soak in. This is purely so I can spread them easily. They all clump together when they're wet. So hopefully that'll be good enough. Now I'll get a tray ready. So tray with holes. And let's pause that. And a tray with no holes. Tray with no holes. Compost. Ta-da! So I've flattened it down again with the block as usual, and now I'm going to give it a good bit of spray. It would take a lot of spray to actually drown kind of seeds, so that's why these spray bottles are so good. Now I'm going to spread this on top.
Would you have a cup of tea?
Actually, I wouldn't mind a cup of tea, Ron.
Yeah?
Yeah, please. Thanks. So I spread them out as best I can. They're not perfect, but they were still a bit damp, but I wanted to get it done. So okay though, okay. We'll see how they go. They could be slightly overseeded, but we'll see. So lots more spray. Now, my cellophane or cling film. Now I can put that stack over here and there'll be no mess. So to recap, we made 4 trays of microgreens today: coriander, broccoli, amaranth, and peas. They're not there, they're gone over there. And peas, or pea shoots. So we'll have a look at these again in about 3 days when we're stretching. But in the meantime, I think I might do more broccoli maybe tomorrow or the next day. I'll stagger it so I don't have like loads at the same time, because I'm mainly concerned with just kind of microgreens for the family right now. We're busy with lots of other things, so I'm not really too pushed about selling. But I did miss the microgreens. I couldn't, I felt my diet was just missing them. And the stuff in the shops is just like shite. So we'll keep an eye on these microgreens over the next couple of days, and I'm going to continue the videos and I put a category in YouTube. So there's a microgreen category, and I'll start trying to put more regular videos into that category. So stay tuned. It's very easy to grow microgreens, and it's especially easy to grow them if you're shown in a simple way. So please like, share, and subscribe.